village of Crosthwaite sits at the head of the beautiful Lythe Valley and incorporates a few small settlements including the Roe, the Howe and Bowland Bridge. The area is mainly a farming, rural area with lush green fields and well-kept walls and hedges. There are 4 main centres of activity in the village. The school, which has a total of about 55 children at the present time, ranging from preschool at 4 years to completion of their primary education at 11 years, when they continue to either Kendal, Milnthorpe or Windermere secondary schools.
Bonjour Crosthwaite.
Bonjour Mademoiselle Martin.
The church, which is well attended, and back in 2006 had a new vicar inducted into the community. That night, the church was packed to standing room only, and our new vicar, Michael Woodcock and his wife, along with their 2 small children, have fit into village life extremely well.
Michael, in the declaration you're about to make, will you affirm your loyalty to this inheritance of faith?
I, Michael David Woodcock, do so affirm and accordingly declare my belief in the faith which is revealed in the Holy Scriptures.
St Mary's has an active team of bell ringers, and over the last few years, the community has raised thousands of pounds to have the bells retuned and rehung. Also, the organ renovated. A third centre of activities is our very well used and extremely well kept village hall. The hall was built in 1935 on land provided by the local landowners, the Argles family. A big restoration project was completed with the help of a lottery grant in 2003, and since then the facilities in the hall have been really well used. We have a very thriving play group. A very active exchange afternoon, a meeting point for the first responders, and all the usual village activities including WI, Keep Fit, indoor bowling and an art group. The 4th area of activity is the recreation field, bought from land that came up for sale in 1994. The village people set about creating this wonderful playing area, with swings for the children, a tennis court, a kickabout area and a very well kept bowling green, the envy of many bowling clubs and surrounding villages. Very recently we held our annual strawberry tea there, and as can be seen, the village turned out en masse to come and support the event. Over £1,000 was raised to help with the upkeep. So Crosthwaite and its inhabitants are well catered for, and a visit to the exchange proves what a friendly community we have here.
The village post office and shop has closed. Every Wednesday in the month we have this exchange where we can come and do most of our shopping, meet friends, have a talk and cuppa with them, and then dance all the way home after having our feet attended to. What more can we ask?
Curbside recycling collections do not include plastic, and it emerged from the parish plan that this was very important to the community of Crosthwaite. So Matthew Dobson organised a DIY collection, much appreciated by the villagers, and takes at least 4 to 5 of these bags to the collection point in Kendal each week. We talked about farming being the main source of local life, and it still is. But like most communities, the number of farms in the area has seen a significant drop. When I came to the village as a district nurse in 1965, I can remember there being in excess of 30 farms. That figure has now dropped to about 10, but the beauty of the area still remains. Village still has that old world charm about it, and although there are not too many old locals, the influx of newcomers fit in and mix really well with village activities. They've fitted into the community like a hand in a glove, and it is hard to remember that they are not indigenous local families. In 2001, a book was launched about the history of the village, and everyone turned out their photo boxes and albums to provide archive material for it. Another example of community spirit. Crosthwaite is a thriving village, but sadly suffers with the problem most beautiful villages suffer from, affordable housing. At one time, son followed father onto the farm, but that isn't the case anymore. We know how easy it could be to spoil a village with indiscriminate building, but somehow, somewhere, there's got to be a happy medium to keep our younger generation in the area and stop the migration to the towns and cities. What's special in the area? Well, Whitbarrow Scar, owned by the Landowners Association, is now a designated SSSI, especially for the rare butterflies that thrive there, and peregrine falcons and buzzards also nest there. In springtime we have the most wonderful display of damson blossom, when the trees in the valley are covered with the most delightful display of snow-white flowers. It's a real tourist attraction, and some visitors make an annual pilgrimage to the area just to see this. Then in September the fruit is picked, and once again the village is host to many visitors. At one time most farmers used to sell damsons from the roadside. Now there aren't as many stalls, but the fruit is still the best in the land, and the Damson Association promotes the planting of new trees and the marketing of the fruit to everyone's advantage. The villagers also join together to compete in an annual flower and produce show. Our parish plan indicated that a village website would be useful. Immediately someone volunteered to set one up, to the benefit of all. It is very well used. At the moment the village is actively trying to enable twinning with a comparable village in southern France, and the school especially are interested in this.
Should we practice it? Et bonjour mes amis. Et bonjour mes amis.
Each year the village joins together to raise funds for the village hall. In January either a talent show or a pantomime, and in May a huge rummage sale.
That's why he's looping.
I'll go into the kitchen and see what I can find.
Both of which raise upwards of £1,000 to maintain the hall and keep rentals down for the many groups who use it.
Oh no, she isn't.
Michael Dobson has recently taken over a farm on the outskirts of the village. Farming is very much more intensive now than it used to be.
The industry in itself has altered quite dramatically in the sense that there isn't the same number of young people in farming, but yet the industry is thriving. Like myself here taking on this farm 3 years ago with my wife Jenny, the farming as a whole has changed in the sense of the machinery and the way we sort of outlook in farming. There's quite a lot more optimism, especially from myself, obviously being a bit more youth, that probably helps. On this farm here we have a mixture of livestock. We have short-horn cattle, which are pedigree cattle, and a mixture of array of sheep from Suffolk, north of England mules, Cheviots, and this farm itself is about 130 acres with additional 20 acres joined to it, and I have an additional 600 acres on a lump of fell.
Well, not coming from a farming background has been quite a big change for me, and it's very much a way of life, and I found out that you really have to have a passion for it because it is an everyday job and it's not just 9 to 5. Especially at lambing time and calving, you really have to kind of have your wits about you because anything could happen really. But I've kind of got used to it, and I'm willing to just jump in there anytime Michael needs a hand.
This will be a young family who will be an asset to the village and a community as a whole. We do have some businesses run in the village, and one that creates the most stunning sight is to watch Martin Casson from High Adventure float over the village in his hot air balloon. Martin was born and bred in the valley, his father being a local farmer, but Martin wanted something a bit different, and a ride in his balloon is certainly that. The local hostelries are well used, mainly because of the welcome they give the visitors, and when the local post office closed, the Punch Bowl found a space for the essential service in their premises. We hope that this little film has given you the true spirit of Crosthwaite. Whatever the project at hand or need identified, Crosthwaite has such a strong community spirit that everyone will do their best to help in any way possible, whether it's a local need or an international disaster. The villagers respond to raise funds or give the services required to help in an appropriate way. Nobody has to be asked, it's just done. And that is what community spirit is all about.